Introducing your Pittsburgh Penguins Elite.
Squishy Evans, number 1, St. Killian Parish School. Squishy says, no, 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 no.
Enza Vickers, number 2, St. Charles.
Flynn, number 5, Chartiers Valley. Let's win it, boys.
Grayson Baru, number 14. I go to Elwood City Area School District. Bye.
Landon Bloom, 22, Nature Boy Elementary.
Ooh!
Ryan Schweitzer, number 23, Hayne Elementary School. Bang!
Finn Bowen, number 26, and I go to Eden Hall Upper Elementary. And I got hands.
Austin Kumnick, number 34, Hayne Elementary.
Brady Dixon, 36, in Gamar Elementary School, laying the boom.
I'm Sammy Brushett, number 48, and I go to Hayne Middle School.
Ryan Laura, number 61, Hayne Middle School.
Luca Zacchi, number 83, Mars Area Centennial School. And I shoot bombs from the blue line.
Danny Foster, 88, Mercer Elementary School. This is my house.
Nathan Goldberg, 97, Level Green Elementary School. And I hit lasers.
Good night, Swirly Nation, and welcome back to the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in beautiful Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, for tonight's game, a midnight mass of hockey between the Cincinnati Junior Cyclones and your Pittsburgh Penguins Elite. It's a late night start here from the practice home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. After an exciting 4-2 contest, a Penguins win in game 1, we're back for the second game here between these two clubs. A busy day on Cinnamon Swirl TV as the Penguins are 2-0-1 on the day. The 10s going 1-0-1 against the Green Bay Junior Gamblers. And right now the 2011s with a 4-2 win over these Cyclones. As we get ready for puck drop, here's the starting lineup brought to you by the Training Table at the Lemieux Center here in Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania. In net for the Penguins, number 1, the Squish Tender, Squishy Evans. Up on defense, it'll be number 5, Dino Foligno, and 36, Brady Dixon. Your wings, number 14, Grayson Baru. Number 43, George Luarchuk. And at center, number 2, Enzo Vickers. Cincinnati with the early zone entry. Cut off by the Penguins defense. Wedged to the wall where Vickers tries to get a hold of it. Now Baru will slap it back out to center. It'll be picked up by Cincinnati and carried in on an offside play. So we'll get a whistle and a face-off outside of the Penguin blue line. Thanks for joining us, everybody, here. A night game under the lights, Saturday night lights. We're going to go PG-13 with this one, as it is game 4. And I may or may not, I can neither confirm nor deny going to Purgatory for a frosty, cold, adult Coca-Cola. And I may or may not have a slushie that was requested during the last 2010 game. Cincinnati possesses the puck, and they'll carry it into the Penguins' end, defended off there on the back pressure by Lohr, and the defensive play by Foster. It's behind the Penguins' net. Picked up by Cincinnati as they try to wrap it around to the other side now. All the way to the corner, rolls the puck. The Penguins bloom in a battle after it. Zachy will get to it, wedge it up the wall for Bowen. Bowen cut off, but he'll get right back to the puck and slap it back out to center. Cincinnati will use that chance to regroup and get a line change. The Penguins changing some players as well. Zachy in the corner, has it roll kind of off of his stick to Bowen. He'll wedge it up the wall, but right to the defenseman. It's picked up by Cincinnati. They'll cut to the middle, weaving in, carrying it around. Looking. He'll go back to the point. Shot in from the point. Stick to side by Squish, and it'll be wedged by on the rebound, and Cincinnati takes an early lead. So Cincinnati jumping out to the 1-goal lead here. Penguins will get the puck and pop it into the Cyclone zone, pressured by Goldberg. Picked up by Foligno. He'll go back for Vickers. Vickers through center. He's got Baru with him on the right. He'll cut it, drop it for for Baru. Baru, 2 goals in the first game. A fantastic game by the Penguin goaltender Burchett in that one as well. 4-2 Penguins win, as now the Cyclones are back out the center. Into the Penguin end. Defended expertly by Foligno. Vickers to the puck. He'll loft it up to the blue line and out for an offside play. Bloom on the draw. It's knocked free to Lohr. Lohr will force it into the Cyclone zone. Picked up by Bloom. He tries to feed it back to the point man. That's intercepted, and back come Cincinnati. 3-on-2 developing. Zachy able to force him wide. Thomas in front with a shot blocked by the Pens defense. Dixon will get control. Tries for Lohr. Kept at the blue line, though, by Johnson of the Cyclones. They'll get possession. Bloom picking up a stick as he and Thomas go to the corner. Fed in front. Shot comes in. This time, Squish able to push it to the corner. That was the problem with the first shot that came in. He was trying to wedge it to the corner, and it didn't get there. It popped right back out in front for the rebound. Dixon up the wall. Off the wall to Schweitzer. Cincinnati right back in, shot in, up off the blocker, rebound, directs to the outside by the squish tender. Schweitzer will clear it up the wall for Lohr, no further. Battle on the half wall, whacked at by Zachy. It'll end up on the stick of Schweitzer. Schweitzer now Lohr. Lohr looking for Schweitzer, he's knocked down on the play. It'll be picked up by Cincinnati in their own end. Then they'll try to regroup and come back to the Penguin zone. It's been all Cincinnati early in this one. We thought they'd come out with a bit of anger and angst after losing the first game to this Penguins team. Possessing the puck, carrying it around behind, knocked free by Goldberg, wedged to the corner by Cincinnati. Goldberg will be the first one there. He's got a second. He'll come out of the corner and slap it up the wall looking for Lohr. Bounces over his stick, but he's able to advance it nonetheless to Luarchuk. Luarchuk into the offensive zone, carrying to the outside. He's all the way to the corner. He's supported on a late support by Goldberg, who picks the puck up, feeds it cross ice, and there it is with a beautiful pass, Vegas Golden Nate. And it's past happy hour, but it's time for a nightcap. Head to the fridge, dig deep, and grab an ice cold Baroo with the backdoor tapperoo. And this game is tied at 1. An absolutely phenomenal pass from Vegas Golden Nate to set up Baroo, who's back on the puck, weaving into the offensive zone. Knocked off of his stick and chopped past Goldberg. Up comes Cincinnati. Shot from the outside, blockered behind the net by Squish. Rebound set in front, cleared by Goldberg around, looking for Baroo. It'll be picked up by the defenseman instead as it's kept into the Penguin zone. Penguins capitalizing on their big scoring chance. It'll come back to the point. Cincinnati shooting one. 8 up high by Foster. Danny Bananas Foster eating a shot. Now Baroo into the offensive zone. Inside to outside move, and he'll shoot one that skips up on high and over the blocker side. Following on in support, Luarchuk, now Schweitzer. Schweitzer wedges it further, and it'll be iced by Cincinnati. 9:31 to play first period. We've got a tied up contest here from the Lemieux Center. Back to the point for Foligno. He tries to kind of dump it to the half wall, and here comes the Cyclones. A potential break, and what a back check by Finn Bowen. Hair flowing behind, able to back check the puck and break up what would have been a breakaway. Phenomenal back pressure there by the Penguins forward. Cincinnati will regain the puck and carry it into the pen zone, but we'll have an offside play and a face-off at neutral ice. Welcome everybody joining us on Cinnamon Swirl TV. Please remember to hit subscribe below, as we are the premier provider of Penn's Elite Hockey. Face-off won by Cincinnati, dumped into the Penguin zone, off Squish to the outside for Foligno to gather. He goes off the wall to Goldberg, now Vickers. Vickers has it poke checked, but he'll back into the offensive zone and find Luarchuk. Cutting to the middle, possessing and getting it to Dixon. Dixon tries to go backside with the feed, looking for Vickers. It went off a Cyclone. It'll be to the corner for Goldberg. A downed Cyclone in the corner, having trouble getting up and getting back in the play as Dixon fires another one towards Vickers. That'll be cut off by Cincinnati's defense and wedged out the center to be brought onto the Penguin line. Back pressure from Luarchuk. Defensive play by Foligno. Frees it up, but Cincinnati maintains possession behind the net. Foligno will get to it first. Trying to go up the wall for Luarchuk, who is changing. It's kept in by Cincinnati. It's a potential 2-on-1 behind the play. Fanning on the first shot. Centering the second one. Broken up by Dixon. Bowen gets there. He can't clear the zone. Cincinnati with the puck. Shooting one. Skipping it wide to the glove hand side of the squish tender. Puck along the boards. Battle won by the Penguins' Dixon, and it'll be carried out the center by Cincinnati's Thomas. who winds back in, cuts to the outside. Centers a pass that's behind his teammate right to Vickers, who sends it no further than the point man. Now Goldberg to the puck. And both players are headed off here on matching penalties. Thomas and Vickers. Thomas for the Cyclones, Vickers for the Penguins. What will the call be? Hold on Vickers and a wave of the hand. We're going to say that might have been a rough on Thomas. So 7:34 to play, coincidental minors, and we'll continue with 5-on-5 action here. First period of play, 1-1 the score. To the point for a shot that deflected by Foster to the corner. Picked up by Cincinnati. Freed up by Bloom, whacked out to center by Foster, brought back in on an offside play. We welcome everybody here across the world, up in Canada, as we have every broadcast watched in Canada, as well as all of you swirlies worldwide, including, I believe, a couple of the 2010 families tuning in to catch some of the squish tender in net here. A 1-1 tie. Pucks at center ice, battled for along the boards in front of the Penguins' net. Be taken by Bowen, popped up to the Cincinnati line. Cincinnati's controlled the majority of play here so far in the first period, but the Penguins, capitalizing on their chances, have maintained a 1-1 tie, and with some really good defense, quite frankly. Centering feed comes off Schweitzer, unable to clear. It bounces around in front before being gathered in by Zachy. Tossed up the wall off Schweitzer to Bloom, and Bloom will weave into the Cincinnati zone. Pressured from behind, knocked down as the puck goes into the corner. Bowen will follow on with puck support. Bloom will come away with it. He'll shoot it right off the foot of Schweitzer. Back to the puck is Bloom. And the Penguins are going to get a penalty. It'll be Bloom. He's going to get a minute and a half for a slash, so the Pens are going to head to the penalty kill. 6:19 to play in the first period. And the Pens are going to head to the penalty kill. They're going to deploy Foligno and Kumnik, Baru and Luarchuk. Cincinnati dangerous on the power play here. An explanation being given to the Penguins bench. Face-off won by Baru, back to Kumnik, who swipes it all the way out to center. Cincinnati will look to set things up at their own blue line, a D-to-D play to regroup, and they're up through center ice. Pressure on the back, pressure by Luarchuk. Angled well by Baru. It comes over to Kumnik, who sweeps it back out to center. No icing as it's off of the Cyclone into their own end. Baru with a great forecheck there, freeing things up, and he'll pick it up along the half wall. It's wedged out to center for Foligno to get control. Foligno will toss it off of the fallen Luarchuk, who lifts it into the Cincinnati zone and keeps it there as he gets right back up into the play. 45 left on the penalty kill for the Penguins as Baru disrupts things at center. It's carried into the Penguin zone. They'll say an onside play. Swipe to the outside for the shot to the glove hand side that's caught and held by the diminutive number 1 in net, the squish tender. It's Pens and Cyclones. It's a 1-1 game here in the first period. We had an exciting one early, a 4-2 victory for your Penguins. As everybody's about ready for bed on this late Saturday night. The Cyclones control the puck on the power play. A shot from the point, blocked by the Penguins. It'll be picked up by the Cyclones in the corner, chipped behind the Penguins' net. They'll come around with it, sending it out in front, right from the hash marks into the gullet of the squish tender, who's able to gobble things up and get a whistle. Excellent positioning there by the goaltender with his heels on the top of that crease. Vickers on the faceoff again, won by Cincinnati. Back to the point for a one-timer that's actually picked up, thrown in on net, kicked out by Squish. A whistle as I believe they thought he caught it with the pad, which would have been a unique talent. Another D-zone draw here for the Penguins. And Enzo Vickers. He wins that draw, Cincinnati wins the draw. It'll be carried out the center. The Penguins are going to get Bloom onto the ice. Him and Vickers come together as Vickers comes away with the puck up the right wing into the offensive zone. Looking, centering one. And that's going to end up behind the goaltender as Enzo Vickers. Firing it from the half wall. Able to find a spot above the shoulder. And how much wood could a woodchuck chuck? If a woodchuck could chuck wood, it's 2-0 Penguins. Sorry, 2-1 Penguins. Enzo Vickers. As the Penguins had released the Kraken known as Landon Bloom from the penalty box, they're able to bury one on the ensuing rush. As the puck trickles in, it's swiped at and actually cleared. It was not able to be covered by the Cyclone goaltender there. Penguins applying some pressure. It's off the skate of Lohr to be picked up by Cincinnati as they come up through center. Wedged off by Foster. He'll use the body to protect the puck, get it up the boards for Bowen, who tries to hit Bloom, but it's kept in at the point. Off the feet of Kumnik, back for Bloom. He'll pick things up at center. Racing to the Cincinnati line to get the puck. Firing it forward to the corner for Lohr. Lohr's centering feed, and that'll end up in the back of the net. I believe it goes off Finn Bowen and ends up in behind the cage. Put some fries on your sandwich, folks. That's a Pittsburgh goal right there. Driving the net hard, Finn Bowen. Able to poke it by on the centering feed and give the Penguins a 3-1 lead as a shot by Thomas screams wide to the squish tender. Pressured by Dixon, followed on by Vickers. Back to the point, driven off the wall, backhander skips in, Squish makes the first save, gets the second one with the stick, sweet buttery crumpets, that was beautiful. Luarchuk to Baru in front to Luarchuk. He can't get it through, but he'll possess it in the corner, looking to distribute back to the point for Dixon. Fires it low, that's blocked. Back comes Cincinnati for an icing here as they'll bank it off the boards. And with 3:07 to play, it's Penguins 3, Cincinnati 1. Face-off controlled by Cincinnati. It'll be brought up the right, trying to dump behind Foster. That doesn't work, and the Pens are back with a 3-on-2. Schweitzer to Bloom. Bloom weaving into the zone. He's got Lohr with him. Tries to tap it to him. It's knocked off of his stick and brought back on. Weaving into the offensive zone comes big number 9. He's defended all the way to the corner by Foster. Bloom there. Freed up for Lorzy. Lorzy to Schweitzer. Schweitzer back to Bloom. It's through his wickets. Picked up by Cincinnati. Weaved back into the Penguin zone, where it's returned right back to center by Foster. looking for Bloom. Bloom will back into the offensive zone on an offside play. Vickers on the faceoff. Whistle on the ensuing draw as the Pens are back in on an offside play. 2:21 to play, first period of what we're calling the midnight mass. A late night tussle. These Penguins are going to have to travel north up 79 to Meadville tomorrow for 2 against the Regals. As Cincinnati comes out the center, they'll hit a player up the left wing side, trying to cut in on Kumnick. He's there to swipe that away and rim it around for Goldberg. It'll elude him, but come all the way out to center ice. Into the Cincinnati zone for a breakout attempt as the Cyclones will try a 2-on-2 here. Puck's off the stick of the left wing. It'll be picked up by Kumnick in his own end. He goes heavy off the boards. Tapped that by Vickers. He'll follow on out the center. Reversed by Cincinnati, but no further than the Penguin line where Kumnick sends it to Vickers, who banks it off the wall to Baru. We play, how many times can we whack it off the wall, as it's back to Kumnick, who will reverse course and send it cross ice to Goldberg, who plays a dump and chase style with Baru tracking it to the corner. It'll be Vickers along the wall. Popping it into the corner, fed back to Kumnick at the point. Kumnick winds, fires, and it skips just wide of the post on the glove hand side. We've got an opposite side catching goaltender here. Just noticed that. I didn't notice it the whole first game. It'll be Kumnick at center. He'll bank it all the way to the Cincinnati zone. It's knocked down. Vickers following on. Can he get free with it? He pops at it once, twice. Fired by Bowen, and it's just wide of the cage. It hit a defender in front who is felled by the shot. And he is down injured as Cincinnati gathers the puck in. We will take a moment while the coach heads to his injured player. And he looks to be yelling at the referee. The player is lifted from the ice by the coach of the Cyclones and escorted back to the bench. It'll be 48.9 seconds to play here in the first period, a period that the Penguins lead 1-0. Offensive zone face-off. It'll be Schweitzer centering Lohr and Bowen. Zachi and Dixon. The Cincinnati coach wants a word with the officials, and I'm not sure what this is about. Player being attended to on the bench by the training staff here at the Pendrinks, and let me tell you, they are top-notch UPMC trained athletic trainers within the Penguins organization here, and it's an absolute luxury to have such a wonderful training staff here to assist the Penguins as well as visiting teams when they come to town. These Penguins with access to the best medical care in the business if something happens to them injury-wise, and with 2 kids in this program, I've experienced that firsthand about how absolutely amazing not only the training staff but the doctors and everything here at UPMC are. The puck's kicked into the corner by the Penguins. It's Dixon wedging it in deep, and Laurel hunt the puck down behind the cage. Possessed by Cincinnati, rimmed around. It'll be Dixon at the point. Dixon tries to go D to D. Heavens to Betsy, that one was Luckily, a horn as the D-to-D pass was picked off. They would have had a 2-on-0. We're going to head to the intermission here.
Introduce.
And welcome back. As we have a little group dance action at intermission. An intermission between the first and second period. We'll switch sides and we'll head back for second period action. Your Pens lead the Cincinnati Cyclones 3-1 after one. Goldberg to take the faceoff. And this Cincinnati team can strike quick, and they will. It'll be Thompson up the left, feeding it backside off the stick. Picked up by Lewarchuk. Whacked off of his stick back to Kumnik. Kumnik to Lewarchuk. Lewarchuk pulls it in, tries to clear, can't. This is where danger happens, folks, when he can't get it out over that line. This will be Foster, and he will get it out. Icing if it's far enough, but he's got a beautiful pitching well. Just trickles over that line for an icing. That's one of those shots that you land on the front of the green. You see it roll towards the cup, and you're like, oh, it's going in, it's going in. And when it misses the cup, it keeps going off the back of the green. Face-off won by Cincinnati. Sent behind to the corner. Kumnik pressures. The puck's in the corner for Goldberg. Now behind the net for the Cyclones. Cincinnati behind the cage. Back to the point. Shot from outside. Stick to the outside by Squish. Tried to be wedged back in front. And Squish got the first one, came across, and the second one ends up behind him. I think he thought it came through on the first one, but it didn't. He got the first one, and the second one, I think, came off of the back of him and into the net. Another rebound goal there. And this time a Penguins turnover right off the opening draw into the front, spinning a backhander in. Kicked out by Squish, picked up by Foligno, cleared by by Bloom. Off the stick of Bowen, sent back to the line by the Cyclones. It'll be Foligno with the puck. Twisting it. Up for Schweitzer. Knocked off his stick. In front of the Penguins net as they battle. Dixon. Bowen smacking at it. It's cleared behind the Penguins net for Foligno to rim it around. Schweitzer centers it behind Bloom, though. Picked up by the Cyclones as it's all Cyclones to start period number 2. To the opposite corner we go. Foligno will get there. He gets control. Able to get it around one to the blue line, still not out. Dixon will try. He gets it off the back of Bloom out to center, but the Penguins can't control. Now it'll be Bowen digging that puck off the wall, finding Schweitzer. Stumbling over the blue line for a shot to come in by Bloom that's just kicked out. Bloom behind the net, sending it to Schweitzer. He fires it back in front. And we get a holding call on Cincinnati. So the Penguins with a chance to regain the 2-goal advantage. Vickers on the faceoff, over to Goldberg. Goldberg shot short side off the side of the cage, picked up by Lewarchuk. Penguins power play going to work here. Seven Fields Wealth Management power play. Lewarchuk, Goldberg wrist one off the back side of the Cyclones, and they'll come out the center. Tossing it cross ice, defended by Zachi, all the way into the Penguin zone. Stopping and starting, winding it up the wall, just past the reach of Lewarchuk though. So pinning it against the wall and running some clock off this power play is Cincinnati. It'll be Vickers. Vickers weaving through. The Penguins defenseman Zachi runs into a Cyclone. The Penguins get it to the Cyclone zone, but it's going to be the Cyclones with a ton of space. They're short-handed, and they try to rim it off the wall, and that's picked off by Bowen. He'll fire one back at the net that's blocked. Zachi will crash down the boards to keep it. Ultimately having it pop past him and out to Foster at center before being thrown in on an offside play. 2:10 to play, period 2. It's Penguins 3, Cyclones 2 in this nightcap. Bloom on the draw. Carried into the Pen zone, swiped away from Thomas up to Bloom. Bloom whacking at it, and it comes into the Penguin bench, tossed back on the ice by Zachi. Bloom on the draw, tossed into the Cyclone zone. They'll wedge it back out the center. It'll be Kumnik. Kumnik in stride into the offensive zone. He's angled well. Sent back to the blue line. Kumnik loses a mitt. Goes and retrieves that glove. Penalty over on the Penguins, or on the Cyclones. Everybody back to 5-on-5 hockey. Picked up and weaved through the neutral zone. Lower with the puck pressure. Off of the referee. Sent back off the skate of Bloom out the center. Hill pressure. His pressure dislodges the puck along the wall. It'll ultimately come back to Kumnik, who whacks it back up the boards to the defenseman for Cincinnati. As we play, you take it. Nah, how about you have it? How about you take it? All through the neutral zone. Who's going to get control? It'll be Cincinnati in their own end. Popped off the boards. Pressure coming there from Lohr as they carry it behind their own net. Off the boards, kept in by Foligno at the point. Vickers now. Vickers sends it high in the air to Lohr. Lohr will whack it back into the offensive zone. Vickers will chase it there. On the hunt, Enzo Vickers. Nudges the player as the Penguins get a line change. Baru on the ice. He overskates the forecheck, but he's able to get right back in the play on the back check. As the Cyclones cut to the middle, knocked off of their puck, picked up by Foligno. He's up the wall with it. He gets it to Lewarchuk. Lewarchuk just loses control. And the Cyclones attempt to exit their zone. They'll be successful through center. It'll be a 2-on-2, now 3-on-3 into the Pen zone as Vickers spins it back to the blue line, loses control. Driving right down Main Street comes Cincinnati. Poked away by Dixon, not once but twice. And cleared all the way to center for Baru. He'll weave through into the offensive zone. Tries to shoot one that's blocked and cleared back out to Dixon. Goes right between the wickets like a croquet ball to the backhand of a Cyclone who gets the shot fought off by the blocker side of Squish. Feed comes in front, kept out again. Vickers with the puck. He'll go off the glass. Can't clear, back to the corner. Vickers second time. Lewarchuk this time with good body position, able to get control and fire it out the center. Cincinnati controls there, being knocked off their stick by Baru, but brought back in the left wing side. A centering feed cut off by Vickers. Vickers gets on the horse. Attacked from behind. Frees the puck up for Dixon to battle at center. Off a skate, off of a stick. Weaving in for Thomas. Corner we go. Lohr pops it out the center, and we got a whistle. Interference the call. So a penalty coming here, an interference call on the Cyclones. We'll put the Penguins on the Seven Fields Wealth Management power play. If you want to supercharge your financial planning, your portfolio, call our friends at Seven Fields Wealth Management. Zachy! Drop it in the tube! Light it up! That's a cannon! From the point, Luka Zachy with an absolute heat-seeking missile to extend the lead to 4-2. Talk about supercharging a power play. Great googly moogly, that was a missile. 8:44 to play. We already have as many goals as in the first game, which you got to expect, folks. These kids are going to be tired here. It's 9:30 at night. I know the squish tender is usually in bed by now. So we'll see what the rest of this game brings as it's popped up the center. Can't quite clear to center. Lohr will get there. He'll try the wall. First attempt, no good. Zachy continues to battle. Wedged free. Luka Zachy with a pair of goals on the weekend already. One exactly how you'd expect that power play goal, just a missile. As in comes the Cyclones, a backdoor feed eludes the crease. Wedged up by Lohr. Can they get it out on second effort? They will. They got Schweitzer at center. Just can't quite get it to him. Penguins forecheck. Leads to a turnover to Bloom. He's pressured. Now it'll be Baru, fresh legs off the bench. Cincinnati comes away with it, a one-on-one play. Firing it back the opposite way. Tracking it wide of the cage. Zachy to the puck. He sends it up and Schweitzer's gone. Schweitzer in on a breakaway. Rebound, sits clear, wedged at, no go. Schweitzer dusted it off in front, tried to bury it, but back come the Cyclones. It's a 3-on-2. Vickers with the back pressure. Shot comes in, squish there to make the save. Gobble it up in the paraphernalia and get a whistle. With 7:17 to play in the second, it's 4-2 Penguins. Want to give a special shout out to the 2010 families who were able to take Cameron for a little bit of dinner as we are calling game number 4 here on the day. So to all the 2010 families out there watching, thanks for taking Cameron to Luciano's for dinner. As a shot comes in, it's kicked out by Squish, cleared by Kumnik, and out comes Goldberg. Stick handles around a defender. It's knocked off of his stick, gathered in by Cincinnati. They'll try to counterattack. Vickers there to break it up, though. Vickers keeping it in the zone. Down low to Goldberg. He has the absolute best assist of the day so far. Has it knocked off of his stick, and Cincinnati will weave to the Penguin line. Winding and firing, blocked by Kumnik. Vickers on the back pressure. Battle along the wall to Goldberg. He'll lose possession, weaving to the middle. And a back shot tracked by Squish. And just like the shortstop that he is, sweet buttery crumpets, he gloves that one down. Coming from right to left, shooting it back to the opposite side. Squish equal to the task. And you know what that means, folks.
Squishy says, no, 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 no.
Schweitzer behind his own cage. Carried all the way to the Cincinnati zone. Back to Zachy at the blue line. He'll go off the boards for Lohr. Lohr will pop it into the Cincinnati end. They'll battle along the half wall, jumping by Lohr Schweitzer. Back for Lohr, picked up by Cincinnati. Back pressure again by Lohr. Back pressure all day, baby. Dixon now sends it to Zachy. Zachy had fallen down but able to get a stick on it. That's that baseball paralysis. I can tell you for a fact he has at least one, if not multiple, bombs at baseball. Lucas Zachy with a home run hitter. Penguins break up the entry, and it'll be Grayson Baru with the puck. He's got speed through the neutral zone, cutting from left to right through the offensive zone, all the way to the corner. Ridden from behind a centering feed. Unable to be gathered in by Bowen. He'll try a second time as we play whack-a-mole behind the net. And Cincinnati's going to head off with a penalty. A holding call on 45 on the streaking Baru. And with 5:17 to play, the Penguins are back on the Seven Fields Wealth Management power play. A power play that took all of like 2 seconds to strike on its last iteration. Goldberg to take the faceoff. Excellent activation by Luarchuk. But Cincinnati able to overtake and wedge it out the center for Foster. He'll go indirect off the boards, sent right back up to the Pens line, where Cincinnati will weave into the Penguin zone. Carrying left to right into the offensive zone, looking and dropping back to the point. Wedged back to the corner. Short-handed action by the Cyclones before Foster gets control. He wedges it up looking for Baru. Baru was trying to stretch the play. It's got to come more across the zone than straight up. It's popped back into the Cincinnati zone. No icing as there's a defender right there. It goes off the stick. 50 seconds left on the power play. Remember, minute and a half power play, folks, here in USA Hockey, 15-minute periods, minute and a half power plays as it comes free. Goldberg there on the backhand, firing one in front, rebound loose. Goldberg wedges it in front, and it's covered up by the goaltender. An excellent job there by the Cyclone netminder with 4:22 to play, and the Penguins on a power play getting a frozen puck. Just like this wonderful frozen slushie I have from GetGo. Find your local GetGo market for your frozen slushie, and it'll put a smile on your face almost as much as when the Penguins score. Bowen down the wall, swiped away from him by the Cyclones. Back out the center to be swiped away by Foligno. In comes Cincinnati, a cross-ice feed defended off by Dixon. Sent in on Squish, he'll pop it to the corner for Bloom. Bloom carries behind the net, rims it around looking for Bowen, cut off by Cincinnati. It'll be a battle along the half wall. Dixon and Bowen. Up the wall, kept in at the blue line, sent back to the corner for Foligno. Foligno unable to get control behind the cage, so Cincinnati will set things up with a cross-ice pass. That's defended well by Schweitzer, then Bowen as the puck trickles out over the line. And it's sent back for Bowen to enter the Cyclone zone. This kid's got some mitts. He drives to the inside, knocked off his stick, but Dixon will get there. He fires it cross-ice to the opposite corner to Vickers right off the bench. His centering pass off of a pad. Picked up by the Penguins' Goldberg. He can't get the shot off. Vickers will follow on behind. And now we're going to get a slash. So the Penguins will head to the PK as Goldberg's going to head off a minute and a half for slashing with 2:56 to play. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Cinnamon Swirl TV. Make sure you subscribe below. Today we have cameraman Rob Schweitzer. And doing the play-by-play and directing your broadcast is Jeremy Evans. Remember to find us on not only YouTube, subscribe below. That's what we ask. Hit that subscribe button, but also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Cincinnati controls on the opening, or on the faceoff on the power play, but it's wrapped all the way back out the center to be picked up at their blue line. They'll try to set things up the wall. Foster there to wedge it back to the center ice line. Sent back in by Cincinnati, popped back out by Foster. Sent all the way back to the blue line of the Cyclones by Vickers, where Cincinnati will regroup and they're into the Penguin zone. Fired cross side. Shot comes in. Blocker to the outside by Squish. All the way back to the point. Shot from the point. Blocked by Luarchuk. He couldn't pick up the puck. Spinning one in front. Squish with the save. And diving across with absolute robbery is the Squish tender. What a play. And you know what that means.
No.
The Penguins all the way into the Cyclone zone where it'll be an icing. No, not icing. Yes, icing. No icing. Bloom gets to the puck. One guy had his arm up. The other one waved it off the side of the cage. I think he tried to go off the back of the goalie. Penguins still short-handed. Lure gets whacked behind, so the Penguins are literally no back checkers as Cincinnati fires up through center. Off the stick of the Squish tender to the corner for Foster. Penalty is over now. 5v5 hockey. Penguins kill it off. Foster with the puck, rims it around the wall for Bowen. Bowen up the wall, out the center for Baru. Baru knocks it all the way to the Cyclone corner. Chased down there, but the Pens are going to potentially have a penalty. They will. Baru in the corner with a cross check. Just a little over-aggressive there. So with 58 seconds to play in the second period and a 4-2 lead, the Penguins are going to be killing another penalty here. Second one in the last 3 minutes. Back to the point. Twisting it to the opposite side. Played up to the half wall. Foligno will get there. He'll wedge it up the wall for Bowen, and Bowen will escape the Penguin zone. Cincinnati tries to set up at center ice. They'll gain the zone. Onside, right side. Pressured on the back check by Bowen. Work to the point. Pressured by Bloom. Shot comes in from the point. Skips wide of the Squish tender to the corner. It'll be rimmed around behind. Oh, cut off actually by the Penguins defense. Battle along the half wall, controlled by Cincinnati. They walk right off the wall. In front, paddled away by Squish. Rimmed around to the point, no further. Bowen will get there and actually pressure it. Pop things free. It's all the way to the Cyclone blue line where Bowen gets there. He'll turn, he looks, he'll fire, and he'll score. No, it's under the pad. I thought it was in the net. It came off of the blocker, dropped right under the pad. I thought it careened into the corner of the cage. 37 seconds left on the PK, but only 4.7 left in the period for the Penguins to try to escape to the third with a 2-goal lead. Bloom behind. As time ticks down, we head to the second intermission. Welcome back, everybody, to third period action. Let's switch sides and let's finish this like 10-year-old men. 30 seconds left on the Penguins' penalty kill here in the third period. As we get underway, it's the Penguins firing it in behind the Cyclone zone. Pressure by Luarchuk. The Cyclones up through center around Dixon. It'll be a 2-on-1. Zachi back on defense. Working at 3, a centering feed. Skips wide of the cage. Another centering pass. That one sent wide. Defended off by Dixon. Back to the point, no further. Controlled by Cincinnati as the time expires on the penalty kill. It's worked out the center by Luarchuk off of a Cincinnati player all the way to the Cyclone zone where Peru there with the pressure. He ends up with the puck. He's got Vickers backside, feeds it to him. And the puck, and no goal. They're going to say no goal. It was not under the goaltender, but the referee had lost sight of the puck and blew the whistle. It was definitely blown before it was shot in. Advantageous whistle for the Cyclones as that puck sat free right outside the goal line before being tapped home. So let's see if that comes back to bite the Penguins. I doubt it. Not what they keep continuing with the forecheck, back check, paycheck, folks. It's Kumnik with a shot from the point. High stick on the puck, and we're going to come the whole way back to the Pens' end. Even though I did not see a Penguin even come near the puck after the high stick. It'll be Bloom on the faceoff in the Penguins' end. Swiped that and cleared by Kumnik to Schweitzer with a one-touch to Lohr. He has it roll off of his stick, but it's followed on by Foster. Foster up the left to the half wall, banking it off, looking for the corner. Cut off by a Cyclone forward, spun back out the center where Schweitzer will gather it in. Schweitzer off the boards, picked up by Lohr. Lohr into the offensive zone, will pop it in behind the Cyclone net. 5-on-5 action here from the Lemieux Center, the practice home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's the Pens Elite and the Cincinnati Junior Cyclones. Foster with the puck, firing one off of a stick. To the corner it goes. It'll be brought back on by Cincinnati in on an onside play to the left wing, winding, firing. Off a squish tender, gathered in by Bloom on a great clear. Up the wall to Schweitzer. He'll spin around at center, gaining the Cyclone zone before being pressured from behind. Cincinnati picks it up on the left wing side this time. They'll dump it in and get a line change. Penguins in the middle of one themselves. Foligno with the puck. Over to Luarchuk. He's got Vickers. Vickers with speed through neutral zone. Leaving it for Goldberg. Goldberg weaving in. They had almost popped free with 2. It'll be into the corner with Goldberg. Popped off of his stick, gathered in by Cincinnati. Off the stick of Luarchuk at center. Weaving it back to the line. Picked up there by Vickers. Can it clear the zone? It will. And Cincinnati will throw it in on an offside play. Third period action here at midnight mass at the Lemieux Center. If hockey's your religion, playing hockey at 10 years old at 10 o'clock at night is like Christmas. Schweitzer on the faceoff. He plays a bit of twister to get the puck free to Bowen. It'll be on the half wall. Possessed there by Cincinnati, kept in by Schweitzer, off the foot of Lohr, and out the center it comes. Tap to the outside, streaking down, cutting to the middle, weaving to the front, kicked out by the squish tender. Back to the point it comes. Half wall for Cincinnati. A cross ice feed sent screaming wide to the glove hand side. Schweitzer picks up the rebound. Has it taken from him back to the point. Shot in, blocker side. Rebound gobbled up by Squish, and the second rebound off Squish and over the net. Third shot in front. Fourth shot sent wide. Another centering feed picked off by Dixon. Cleared to the point. Out in front, shot in, caught in the paraphernalia of the Squish tender and stopped. Vickers to take the D-zone draw, trying to clear the zone. It's cut off by Cincinnati, sent back into the middle to be taken and popped out the center by Foster. Vickers is up to the blue line, no further. This time it'll be Foster sending it in. And we get a whistle on, I believe, an offside play. Face off to come outside of the Cincinnati zone. Vickers pops it forward. The Cyclones counter by tossing it up the boards. Foster there to defend it. They'll try a second time. Vickers with the back pressure. Also Baru on the back check. He'll run into Foster but get control of the puck. Off the stick of Goldberg out the center. Two players tied up. Onside play at the line. Broken up by Foster again. He sends it cross ice to Zachi. Zachi gains the red line, dumps it to the offensive zone as we hit the 10-minute and 15-second mark of period number 3. Cincinnati breaking out to the right, pressured by Vickers, brought out the center by the Cyclones, defended there by the back check of Goldberg. He and Foster will team up, and Goldberg will get the puck. Knocked off of his stick and sent back to Zachi. He'll look the opposite way, fanning on his first attempt. And whacking the second one, but right through a Cyclone. Sending one in. The Squish tender puts that one off to the side. Wedging another one out with his stick. Looking for Goldberg to run a breakout. Squish was trying to run the breakout there. It's all Cyclones here after a turnover by the Penguins. Foster will get there. He'll wedge it back out no further than the blue line. Now Zachi swipes at it right through a Cyclone. Shooting one in, kicked to the corner by Squish. Foster off the wall, high over Baru. He'll swipe at it, kept in at the point, sent back to the corner. All this after a Penguin turnover. Penguins can't escape their zone right now. Vickers will whack it all the way down for an icing. We'll take it at this point. So a D-zone draw here for the Pens. The Cyclones turning it on. They're taking advantage of Penguin mistakes. As we're inside of 10 minutes to play, the Penguins with a 4-2 lead. The information on your scoreboard is incorrect. It's a 4-2 lead, but it's third period action. We'll get that updated as it's in front, and Kumnik swipes it all the way through the crease and out to the point. Bloom will get there. And the Penguins will get it out of their own end. First time in about a minute. Bloom knocked down on the play. The Cyclones will shoot it into their own bench, and we'll get an offensive zone Penguin draw. Bloom on the faceoff. Back to Kumnik. Over for Foligno. He misplays it a bit. It just kind of popped. It wasn't really a misplay. It just popped over his stick. Schweitzer. Able to gain the Cyclone zone. Centering feed to Bloom. And he picks a corner. It's like he's got the shooter tutor up. As he cranks it up. Winds and fires low to the short side. 8-ball corner pocket, Landon Bloom with the sniperoo. Excellent puck movement there by the Penguins. Goldberg to take the face-off. Swirly Nation out there, make sure you're a subscriber. If you hear my voice, click subscribe. Whether it's live, whether it's the replay, show us the love here on Cinnamon Swirl TV. It'll be brought out to center by the Cyclones. Tossed cross ice. Whacked that in behind. It'll be Cincinnati trying to come out. Defended off well there by Goldberg. The Penguins playing 200-foot hockey here in this one. They did earlier today, too. They did a couple of times last weekend in Notre Dame. This team's showing marked improvement throughout the season. Spinning with it along the wall are the Cyclones as they gain the Penguin blue line. Carrying wide, looking, spinning one back, finding a trailer. They're good at that. Excellent puck movement by this Cincinnati team. Dixon wins a puck battle. We hear that a lot. He gets it to Bowen. Bowen has Baru. Can he get it there? He can't. It's just off the defender's stick. It's about a split second late as Zachi gets the puck. Up for Goldberg. Goldberg battles along the boards, swiping at it. It'll come free to Lorzy. Lorzy cutting to the inside. Tossing it backside for a one-timer by Bowen that screams wide of the cage. Lore hunting the puck as Cincinnati weaves through the neutral zone. Into the Pens and one-on-one with Zachi. Carried to the backhand. Shot in. Fought off by Squish and covered up by the masked man in black. .650 to play, third period action from the Lemieux Center. Penguins and Cyclones. It'll be Foster collecting the face-off on the back. What a backhand that is. To send it all the way around. He gets it to Bowen. Bowen frees it up to Bloom. Bloom to Lore. Lore will shoot one low that's just wide of the cage. It'll be Bloom along the wall. Cutting to the middle. Knocked down on the play. And the Cyclones will get control and they're back out the center. Stepping up Foster. Right to the stick of a Cyclone though. And they're about 3 steps off sides on the left wing. Penguins defense got a little bit kind of crossed up there, so advantageous time to have an offside play. Face-off will come outside of the Penguin zone. It'll be Vickers. Face-off won by Cincinnati back to the defenseman. He'll dump it in, and they'll play a dump and chase style behind the net where Kumnik will pick things up. He's under pressure immediately. He goes up the wall, unable to be gathered in by Lowarchuk, but defended by Foster. Sends it back towards the blue line, not out, picked up by Cincinnati. The shot kicked away by Squish, cleared out by Lowarchuk. He's got Goldberg. Goldberg's with Vickers. Foster trailing in the high slot. He'll follow behind down the half wall as Goldberg takes it to the corner. Rimmed around for the stick of Lowarchuk. He'll pop it behind Vickers, opposite corner, as we play rim the puck. Foster keeps it in, gets it to Lowarchuk. Backhand pass to Goldberg. He gets free, shoots it towards the net, blockered out. Rebound sent in, blocked by a defenseman. Goldberg spinning with it. Picked up by Cincinnati, not cleared as Foster, keeping it at the blue line. He'll fire it in behind for Vickers. Vickers using his body to protect. Has the puck along the boards. He tries to pop it towards Lowarchuk. It just skips over his stick, and back come the Cyclones through center. At the blue line, Foligno defending. All the way back. Shot wide of the Squish tender. Picked up at the half wall by Goldberg. He exits the zone and finds Lowarchuk. Lowarchuk into the Cyclone zone. Vickers with pressure. can't get a stick on it, and back come the Cyclones through the neutral zone. Foligno there to defend, forcing things wide. A backhand off the squish tender. Cleared by Dixon to the point, no further. It's kept in there. Twisting off the wall, sending it back to the point again. Shot comes in from the outside. They'll find a player in front who sends a puck screaming wide to the glove hand side. Another centering pass. That one's kicked out. It'll be gathered by Vickers up to the blue line, dumped all the way in. It's icing if it's far enough. No icing. No icing, they call. Schweitze says it's the 10 o'clock rule. These refs want to go home too. Shot trickles in on the goaltender who sweeps it to the outside as we hit the 4-minute mark of the third period. Off the wall comes Schweitzer around behind. Possessing as he spins back to the corner. Taps it to the middle. A give and go action there that's cleared out all the way down by Cincy for an icing. 3:39 to play. Third period action. Penguins 5, Cyclones 2. Bloom on the faceoff. Activating where the Penguins' wings. Bloom will come away with it. He taps it back to Zachi at the point. That's freed up. A bit of a tough play there. Back come the Cyclones. One-on-one with Foster to the backhand. Kicked out by Squish. Rebound sent in. That's kicked out by Squish. A turning shot. Also fought off by the Squish tender. 1, 2, 3 in a row.
Squishy says, no, 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 no.
.319 to play here. Vickers on the faceoff, wedged towards Zachi. He'll rim it up to the point, no further. Shot comes in, it's Foster. Popping it all the way to the corner. A puck off the defenseman Zachi. Picked up by Vickers behind the cage. Overtaken by a Cyclone. They try to come back out in front, a centering pass. Defended well by the Pens. Peeling it off. Squish tender with a big stop. Cleared out to the point, no further. A shot comes in. Blocked by the Pens defense. Zachi gets to the puck. He's got Baru cross ice. He can't get it there, but Vickers will follow on and dump it in. Luarchuk in after the puck in the corner. The Penguins get to it. Back to Zachi. Firing one off of a skate, skipping wide. Baru to the puck. Into the skates of the striped man, the official. Cincinnati back on it, and out they come with speed through center. It'll be Zachi back on defense. Now Foster breaking free is a Cyclone for a backside tap in. A 2-on-0 created by the speed of the Cyclones, and they close the gap to 2. Penguins still with their work cut out. 2:14 to play in the third. Penguins will pop it all the way to the Cyclone end again. This is where they set up that speed play they just scored on. It was the prettiest goal the Cyclones have had all day long. Excellent speed and puck movement as they carry it into the offensive zone again. Trying to challenge 1, 2, maybe 3 Penguins. It's finally Foligno wedging it to the corner. We'll battle there. Lohr gets there. Now Schweitzer. Schweitzer cutting in front, picked up by Kumnik and cleared. It'll be carried out the center by the Pens defenseman. Into the offensive zone he goes. Pulling up and firing one off the side of the cage. Bowen into pressure. Lohr gets to the puck. Penguins doing a good job having that F3. That time it was Schweitzer, now it's Lohr. Cincinnati with the puck. They'll rim it around and they'll start a breakout. Penguins back pressure coming from Lohr and Schweitzer. Schweitzer able to pick off the pass. They'll try it again, Cincinnati. This time it's Foligno turning in his own end. Lofting it up the center, off of Schweitzer to the red line. Dumped back to the Penguin blue line for Foligno. He wedges it back up, and the Penguins pop it over the red line. Penguins getting a line change here as the Cyclones will pick things up in their own end. Inside of a minute to play. Forecheck pressure by Vickers. The goaltender stays in his cage here. Baru hammered. It'll come free to Vickers, and the Pens are going to be on a power play. So 36 seconds left. We're going to take the faceoff all the way to the Cincinnati zone, and the Penguins are going to have one extra player on the Seven Fields Wealth Management power play. .7 seconds away from the Penguins taking 2 in a row from the Cyclones. Vickers to the dot. He'll turn it to the wall, back to the point for Zachy. Zachy will shoot it down low and hard. Baru behind the net. Tries to protect the puck there. It'll be rimmed around by Cincinnati. Forced up the wall. It'll be Dixon getting to it at center. He'll control into the Penguin zone. Firing one cross ice for Baru. He'll get it up to Vickers. He taps it in towards the cage where it's stopped and covered. With 8.6 seconds left to play in the third period, Penguins on the power play, having a 5-3 lead and 8.6 away from being 2-0 today. An accomplishment given the last game they played the Cyclones. I want to say it was like 5-6 goals against, 5-6, the last before this weekend. Penguins coming a long way. Baru escapes free, gets in on net. And the Penguins will emerge victorious here at the Lemieux Center. So a 3-0-1 day in the 4 games here on Cinnamon Swirl TV. We hope you enjoyed every second of the action. Thanks for joining us. It's Beer League up next here as the Beer League goaltenders are coming out. Case of Miller Lite in hand. Join us bright and early tomorrow morning. You be bright, I'll be early, as the Penguins 2010s cap off their 3-game set with the Gamblers before these 11s head north